Round of 16 starting now. Italo Ferreira taking on Joel Vaughan. Battle on the peak. It is Italo getting the left off of Joel. Throwing down a carve and loading up for the tail high reverse. And now driving all the way down the line towards uppers. Look at all the ground he's covering. Another forehand rotator to kick things off in Italo fashion. That's what we love about the 2019 World Champion. Last year's World Runner-up is the headliner in this matchup, taking on a rookie sensation named Joel Vaughan. Thanks for being with us, Joe Turpel and Mitchell Salazar. That's the Italo energy we love to see, and he was very intent on starting with that first wave.
Yeah, he usually does. He likes to control the peak, has a lot of experience here at lowers, and of course, being the runner-up to the World Championship last year, he was in position to be #1 in the world for the majority of this year so far. And Joe, already starting off with a great score. Judges setting the scale, brand new round that we have out in the water.
World #2, Italo Ferreira, doing some big things this year, collecting big points like he typically does and likes to catch a lot of waves in the lineup. We're expecting him to catch more waves potentially than Joel Vaughan in this one. Joel had a sleepy win yesterday as far as waves were concerned. 3 waves ridden altogether in the heat with Miguel Pupo as we look at how Italo got positioned to start off this heat.
Well, he knew that it was imperative for him to get the upper hand in this one and kind of teach the rookie a lesson right here. Great combination, the carve into the reverse. And say he didn't get as much height as he wanted to, still added a bit of variation right here with the grab on the second one. Real cool touch right there towards the end, Joe. So, as you mentioned, Joel was very interested in the right-hander. It seemed like he had a great line, but don't want to put yourself in that position. I feel like Joel made the right decision just to not go and force the issue. Don't want to get interference. And for Italo, he started with the upper hand, and as we always know, tends to be one of the busiest surfers out there in the lineup. And of course, starting well, 6.67 this one, Joe. Strong combo to begin with, patented carve to snap, and then the air revo into it afterwards. So off to a great start.
Working hard to get great equipment around the world. Italo's got some great resources as you check out this black surfboard that he's riding here. Guy that probably rides more epoxy type boards than maybe anyone else on tour, and it doesn't have to be in, smaller waves, beach breaks, lowers. He rode epoxies into his win in big conditions in Tahiti last year. Catching up with Tico and Teco, the brothers that run Silver Surfboards, and also Timmy Patterson surfboards in Brazil. He was saying this board he's riding, it's this EPS epoxy with a wood stringer like he normally rides, and they use the black pigmented epoxy resin, and it's not full carbon, riding a 510 all-in model with the Timmy Patterson program. And this board's looking fantastic. So he'll come with a lot of surfboards from Brazil, but then also gets extra backup when he gets to San Clemente with Timmy and Scotty Metz and the crew, working really hard to put himself in a great position in the world title race.
Yeah, I know, and appreciate Silver Surfboards. Tico and Teco, as you mentioned, they texted me this morning. I apologize. I mentioned that it was a dark arts, but normally you do see a lot of Timmy Pattersons out of San Diego be on the dark arts program, and shout out to JT and Tony down there doing great things. But this one, not a full epoxy, so mix in with the resin and, of course, that wood stringer. So the same kind of pop that you would normally get from an epoxy, but kind of that wooden stringer allows the same base that you normally see on just a normal PU board. So good combination of things. And I think for lowers, you want something that's on top of the water that can still dig in the rail if you need to. And as we've seen before, Italo has a lot of power going both right and left, Joe.
And I suppose with his resources in San Clemente, one thing they have been focusing on is that keep pulling everything in to really allow him to go rail to rail better this year. They're like, he doesn't need help in the air. He doesn't need to have that wider outline. He lands everything. So let's work on another category, and they found a great balance this season.
And how much has he progressed the shaping and performance of these boards, throughout 10 years on tour now, Joe? World champion, the first Olympic gold medalist, too, and, of course, having LA 2028 right around the corner. Could be a possibility for him to become a 2-time Olympic gold medalist as well, but now searching for a second world championship, and been close a couple of years now. He's been a member of the finals multiple times, and here at lowers, it's a wave that he knows very well. We got a set incoming, though. Joel with priority here.
Joel's turn if he wants it, but we might end up getting a split peak. Priority with Joel. We'll watch them both ride this wave. Big throw, tail reverse landed from Italo. Joel Vaughan wrapping it in the pocket. Going for another fin throw reverse. Italo looking solid. Joel still has some room to tidy up the tail end to the right. He'll kick out.
What an exchange.
What a classic way to showcase the right and the left at lowers on this perfect A-frame. Italo exploding with risk at the start and also throwing another rotator on the finish. His first wave he opened up with in this heat, Mitch, he did 2 rotations as well.
Yeah, no, he's, a madman when it comes to that, an acrobatic surfer. But Joel Vaughan went to town on the right hander. Really liked the explosion on the first combination. First one into the lip with the Larry layback. Very strong. Into the second carve. Fully commits to the rail surfing right here. And look at this explosive turn on the third one. Just unfortunately for him, the wave fizzled out and just kind of shouldered off right at the end bit. But he did do a lot of damage on the outside, Joe. So to me, this should already be well rewarded. And you can see the DHD tends to ride the DNA and the Juliet for the most part. Fully committed on that first one. When we talk about progression on rail surfing too, saw it on display right here from the former Newcastle Surf Fest champion. He's won 3 qualifying series events and looking for his first major win on the CT and the Challenger Series. Rookie for a reason, Joe, but he's looking for his first major win against Italo in 2025.
Love that disaster type turn there. Half the board just blown out the back. Using that crumble to really project off of. Nice maneuver for Joel. This was Italo's wave.
Yeah, this is insane. Goes to the throw to reverse to start things off. Into the carve, and look at the way he sets up the inside. Just gets 2 more pumps in and a bit forced right there at the end with the section coming down on you already. But we talk about explosiveness and just a little bit more risk. 2 airs on that wave. Great exchange.
There used to be this idea of a strategy of distracting the judges from someone's premier wave. I think that's kind of in the past, a bit, ever since the introduction of the video replay and the panel splitting up kind of the right and the left. Yeah. But Italo likes to keep that attention on him and keep it nice and hot. Getting boards from Timmy. Timmy Patterson's hanging out with Kaipo.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. We've been talking a lot about surfboards, right? And I'm here with the man behind it, Timmy Patterson. Talk to us about what Italo's riding right now.
Right now he's got I think it's 510 round tail. Pretty basic board. It's just his bottoms are a little different, a little more concave, little extra nose tail rocker, epoxy lamination, laminated with black epoxy, gold rails. That's his standard. But he's got 2 identical boards. One that had to get repaired, so we got it back and it's all good. But he's so used to that. He gets used to a board really quick. Like if he rides one board, he's on top of it. He can adjust to the board so quickly, which is really good, for feedback. And he's pretty, I would say, pretty easy to shape for, but he likes to extend it too,
And you got a great relationship in Brazil with Tico and Teco that also help produce the boards, right?
So what's really cool is we can get them made there. They're epoxy. They do such great work. The foam they have and everything. So I've been working with those guys for the last 20 years when they came up from Brazil. Awesome people, So just for us, it's so exciting, to watch someone excel our brand too,
It's exciting for us too, Timmy. It's really exciting for us. Thank you for your time, my man. We'll let you get back to the heat.
All right.
Thank you so much, Kaipo. Timmy Patterson is just from a family of builders and laminators. Great stories from his family, his uncles, his dad working with Hobie back in the day. And the first thing that Timmy built was actually a boat.
Really?
Yeah, that's the kind of where his family started with, and then boat repair, surfboard repair. The Hobie family was making the cats and making obviously beautiful boards in Dana Point, California, where they still make boards today. And so there's a lot of generations of shapers, builders in Timmy's family.
Yeah, and 3 of the best surfers in the world on his team, Alan Cleland, Italo, and yourself, Joanne. I brought a 2+1 board down for you to El Salvador. I saw you ripping on that, but I think the creativity that you see from a lot of these shapers and bringing the new school design with a lot of their athletes, to me, is something superb, and we've truly seen evolution. I think Kelly has a lot to do with that. We saw him really be innovative at Pipeline, especially riding shorter boards, Now look at John. I mean, he's riding 6.2s at the most over there in heavy slabbing waves. And now you look at performance surfing, sky's the limit, Joe. And we really, I feel like we've only scratched the surface when it comes to that.
Yeah, and then cool to see more representation. Dimitri Poulos as a wild card on boards from Patterson. Joel Vaughan on the DHD program. And he is having fun this year. How about that big blast through the lip line? Really, a lot of control over the foam. And now earning some space. He's got a nice ramp right there. Tail inverted to the sky. And one of the coolest reverses you could see. Coiled up like a trap and just let it go, didn't he?
We got a heat on our hands, Joe, and Italo outside going right for the first time this heat.
Wide open face, perfect bottom turn, and stuffs the first section. He's out the back, so he'll be looking to get first priority again. You can see Italo's top 2 numbers there. Pretty solid, but Joel Vaughan with a big answer back as he's trying to really gain some space on the Rookie of the Year race. Now, without Cleveland Jr. out of the contest, Marco Mignot, another one that made the cut, but it's up to Joel to create some space as we watch his weight again.
That's the main highlight of the wave, delayed takeoff. You knew that he wanted to be just behind the peak. Incredible layback to start things off, up and over the second section. And right here, kind of make sure to eye this last section right and have the perfect timing. Look at the pop that he gets, Joe. I mean, we're talking about incredible timing right there at the end and just the projection, the height that he was able to get. But to me, really a violent first turn right there on the outside. That was just impeccable stuff. And for a lot of people that haven't surfed it, you usually want to surf behind the section on the right-hander. It just always puts you and sets you up in the pocket. Look at the pop that he got right here. The hang time, the altitude, everything was so difficult to do that air right there at the end. And look at the score that he requires, 7.81. It's right there for being the best wave of the heat, Joe. We talk about committed first maneuvers. Definitely on the outside for young Vaughn.
Just love his decisions he made here. A lot of variety. Focused on what was in front of him. Right there with that setup, you knew he was going big here.
Oh, man, and look at how inverted it gets right there. Tail high reverse, no grab. Front foot nearly comes off of the board to you in just an impeccable way to finish off that wave. So, to me, 7.81, close to excellent what he needs. I feel like he's either going to get it or it's going to be right around there.
It's got to be. Judges make their decision clear. That was a big finishing move from rookie Joel Vaughan. And he gets an 8.57 and the lead off Italo Ferreira. That was huge. You can just see in that slow motion replay how good he is with his feet. Adjusted, went for grab, but it really just kept him over his surfboard. Now we'll see if Italo can answer back. Let's catch up with Caroline Marks and Rosie Hodge.
Yeah, guys, we're just frothing on the surfing that we're seeing in Caroline. We're just talking about the high performance ability here at Lowers. You were just frothing, saying that this is one of the favorite events for you on the tour schedule. What is it about being back at Lowers, being back at home, sleeping in your own bed that you love so much?
Yeah, it's amazing. Lowers has brought me so many good moments in my career and in my life. And walking up the beach, seeing the scaffolding, I was just like, oh, this place, I just love it, you know. So been competing here since I've been super young. I think my first ever CT event actually was here when I was 13. I got absolutely smoked, but it was a great memory and also my first world title. And so, yeah, I'm really pumped. And everyone's surfing so good. It's just so high performance. It's kind of like a liquid skate park. So it's really fun.
We love watching you surf out here. You will be coming up against Betty Lou Sakura Johnson in the quarterfinal number 4. You guys have had some great battles. What do you make of that matchup?
Oh, I'm excited. She's got me a couple of times. I've gotten her, but I'm fired up for that one. Should be fun.
Yeah, your most recent history is at Bells Beach. Betty got the win, so a bit of redemption that you'd like to get back?
Oh, for sure. I'm fired up. For sure. It's on.
Kara, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Caroline. Caroline moving to San Clemente a long time ago, and so many great memories that she's sharing with Rosie Hodge on the glass. Looking forward to that heat with Betty Lou Sakura Johnson as the next round is all set. Caroline trying to compete for a second world title. Almost accomplished that last year. She sent the title showdown to that third and deciding title match last year against Katie Simmers. That was fun.
Yeah, I'd have to say probably the best exchange of female surfing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, forcing match number 3, as you said, but just the way Katie was able to win the World Championship. Really progressive surfing on rail. Same thing we're kind of seeing right here. Icy replay of Joel Vaughan, 8.57. This is the first excellent score he's had all season long since he beat Jordy Smith over there at the Lexus Pro. So Little caught behind with those two. The first maneuver was sensational, and then you see the pop that he gets right there. We're talking about an absurd maneuver, Joe, and really, that's his stock standard for Joel. But look at this. I mean, he just goes so full throttle into this turn. A lot of speed, a lot of aggressiveness, and of course, the commitment that we always talk about, the degree of difficulty and risk that is involved in the judging criteria. Really ticking all the boxes on the first one. Little caught behind on that one, but it set him up perfectly, Joe. I mean, look at the pacing that he gets. High line, brings it down, a couple of pumps, and the pop. I mean, he got so high on that. Look at how high the tail is. And front foot nearly came off, but just a well-executed maneuver, well-deserved, excellent score. And for Italo, a major heat right here, Joe. Doesn't want to have four early exits in a row.
Joel Vaughan into his second turn on the left, feeling the energy from the crowd after that 8.57. Now he's loading up, end section approaching, gets there at perfect time for the backhand reverse. Staying with Kolohe Dino for this event here in San Clemente, getting back up by his good friend Dakota Walters, incredible surfer from Australia. And it's all working out so far, but it's Italo's turn. Coming from behind the peak, he'll kick out.
Okay. This body language is already feeling it right there, Joe. I'm noticing something. He's got to go big. 7.45. Joel has the ability to improve on the 6.7. I feel like this is the moment where Italo needs to get something excellent.
Joel Vaughan turning things on one of the highest scoring athletes on tour. Italo Ferreira winning events like at Abu Dhabi this year, putting himself at number 2 in the world at Stop 8 of the season, but being pushed by this rookie from North Shelley Beach, Board Riders. Joel Vaughan still out in front. We'll be right back. Always fun to check out what WSL One Ocean is up to, partnering with WSL Pure Grantee, Surfrider Foundation, and the California State Parks, the San Onofre Park Foundation, and also the WSA. Always trying to make a difference here at Lower Trestles during the big event here for the Lexus Trestles Pro, presented by Outer Known. Cole Hauschman and Griff were on hand with Cross as well to get rid of those invasive plants that have been popping up down here on the beach. Got rid of them so the local plants can thrive. California State Parks, always a big shout out and thankful for them keeping this beach looking incredible. The state park that we always love to come down for the CT, but just for our enjoyment to ride perfect waves. This is got to be on your bucket list to go ride a wave here at Trestles, not even just at Lowers, but the Trestles region. You could do the best combination of turns of your life. It's a really beautiful part of the world. As we look at the scores that just locked in from Joel Vaughan, look at that number coming off the break. 8.57 and then a 7.43 under priority.
Yeah, and a good decision by Italo to not go. I mean, you're still looking for your first excellent score of the heat, but Joel just went to town. 3 big maneuvers on the outside, all consecutive too, no downtime in between, and just showing a bit different repertoire right there at the end with the little reverse. But for any doubters that say he couldn't go left, I mean, backhand speaking right here, Joe, he's made the quarters at the U.S. Open that year back in 2022. Big south swell, mainly going left, and as you can see right here, the kid knows how to surf in the pocket, going right, going left. But once again, the progression that he presents within his surfing is really what makes him so special and different to everybody else. Cool little cheeky reverse right there towards the end on the left, and it seems like this tide really making things fun out there at Lowers.
Just what Joel Vaughan's doing in this heat. If you close your eyes and imagine what you'd want to do at Lowers, that's exactly the type of surfing you'd want to do. But how about Italo on the left there?
I want to do that too.
Throwing back another nice turn in the pocket, oncoming section. He could just throw the whole board out. Showing a little passion and emotion after finishing off that left once again. Italo's keeping his first 2 waves, and then everything changed when Joel Vaughan got the 8.57. For Joel, that's his first excellent range score on the CT since stop number 1 at Pipeline. But I don't think Italo was ready for this energy shift. This was the split on the right. This is where Joel went.
Yeah, and it seems like it was just an incomplete maneuver. Sick grab, though, with the slob, and tough section to land right there with all that white water converging, but once again, look at the height, the amplitude of this air. I mean, perfect body positioning on top of his board, but right here, just landing basically in an avalanche of white water next to you, and it's an incomplete maneuver, Joe. Good attempt, though. I mean, to me, just a photo would have been enough.
And then Italo, crazy version of that tail high reverse.
That's just incredible. I mean, how acrobatic he is, the kind of amplitude and height that he gets. And to be honest, he surprised even me with this last one. Flatter section, I didn't think he was going to be able to get that tail high. 818 is what he's looking for, and dare say it's going to be close for him to get the score on this one.
Best part of that lap for me was the start, that first turn, or first maneuver, I should say. Really aggressive, inverted. It's a crazy angle on that tail high whip. But yeah, like you've said, the finish was rad, but it was a soft section. Now we've got Joel Vaughan running after that first section there. Backhand reverse to start.
Oh.
Throwing some water off her solid backhand snap. Another one off the top here. Nice cornering left. And the rookie searching for a final move, finding it on the inside. Italo running after a left as well. Nice speed carve in the pocket. Now he thought about winding up. He'll save it.
Good move.
And important scores locking in, Mitch. 5:55 to go. Italo wanting his lead back, and he'll get it. Numbers coming in at an 8.37 for that previous left. Back to first. Joel Vaughan now needs a 7.63 to come back.
I don't know about that. Just the first section was a bit flat. It seemed like the air was just a bit forced. It was cool air, but you really want to get that extra pop, and you got to make it look as difficult as it is. And for Joel right here, I feel like smart move would still be going right. You got your best scorer over there. The 7.43 was great, but it's a certain wave that you need to be going left on your backhand to be able to get that extra little speed and really that wedge that's coming at you on the end section. But for Italo, we talk about him just being acrobatic, 8.37, really like it was nothing. And with 5 minutes to go right here, what an excellent heat, Joe. 16.2, 16 points. Joel Vaughan, regardless of the result, has to be very satisfied with what he's done.
This was the wave that got Italo back out in front.
Just incredible. I mean, he literally bottom turned straight into the air right there. Little setup cars right here. But once again, this was a flatter section. Look at how much pop he got right there towards the end. Few people can really do that worldwide, and for him, just another day at the office right here, Joe. And once again, section not really present right there for Joel, and unfortunate. I know it's going to fall short, but he tried his very best on this wave that just really never offered up the section that he was looking for. Comparison to the 7.43, that wave stood up a lot more. Still a great wave that I think most people worldwide would be thinking that's one of the best waves of their lives. But at this level, especially in this round already, at this wave, got to be doing better than that.
Well, I could feel your critique of Joel taking that wave. In the first place, I think he got caught in the rhythm of having a session at lowers. He's going for gigantic single slop punts that look rad. I mean, he's got big scores already in this heat, and just couldn't help himself on that cornering bowling left.
And the pressure of Italo right there next to you, too.
And Italo's a guy that's going to catch a lot of waves, and I think Joel's falling into that as well. I mean, I'm loving the way Joel's surfing, Italo's surfing. This is what you expect to see, what you hope to see at Lower Trestles, especially a rookie pushing one of the greats of the tour.
Yeah, I'd have to say one of the greatest surfers of all time, too. I mean, his accomplishments speak for themselves, and right here, Joel might be looking at this right-hander. No, maybe looking left, but Italo with priority. Got to see if you can split the peak with him too, Joe.
As we check out competitors checking in for the next heat, we've seen this as final matchups more than once, probably 4 times in history. It's Griffin versus Felipe. This is the earliest round they've ever met as we catch up to the fireworks of Joel Vaughan mixing up his airs. Incomplete on that one. Still with 3 minutes to go.
That was risky, though. You land the stalefish first thing off the bat on this wave, you're definitely on your way to a massive score.
Capable of doing a lot above the lip, and he's got to use it because Italo's been just a monster the last few years at Lower Trestles. Finished runner-up in the world last year to John Florence. Rampaging. He's beaten Ethan Ewing twice out here in this finals format. He's beaten Jack Robinson twice. Beaten Griffin Colapinto, Kanoa Igarashi. That's in that Final 5 format where Italo Ferreira has been all over it. So, ton of recent history that is really positive for Italo. He was here back when it was a regular season event as well, where You know, he hadn't won a world title yet at the time. He didn't have the greatest success. I think had 1/9 in there back in the day. But a lot's changed since then. 2:10 on the clock. Italo shadowing Joel Vaughan now with priority. I think he's really well aware of what Joel's capable of now, and he's not giving him an inch.
Well, he still has the best wave of the heat, Vaughn does, and right here, 2 minutes to go, if you're Joel, got to try to force him to block you, and it seems like he did.
Italo already distracted on this decision, now commits. Speed turn there, late on the float. It's really just a blocking wave. Joel created some time for himself.
Pressure, yes.
With 1:40 and doesn't need a whole lot. He already has an 8.57, doesn't need that much. A 7.63 gets him the win. Let's see him go for it here. The rookie launches right in front of Italo, clears that section, and punches out the end with a solid lower trestles combination.
Oh, man. Less is more, Joe.
What just happened? Italo with priority goes on a wave he probably shouldn't have. And the rookie Joel Vaughan, acting like a veteran, created a moment for himself, and wasn't just an ordinary combo. Sky high in the first punt, a lot of risk there, and a huge finish, chasing a 7.63.
Absolutely correct, Joe. Extraordinary right here with this air and the combination with the second turn. Still got some more waves outside, 45 seconds, and knowing Italo and how fit he is, definitely going to have room for at least one more. And seems like he's on the peak for the right, Joe, and this could potentially be the wave right here.
Numbers locking in, 30 seconds. Italo hasn't heard it yet, but Joel did take the lead. So this is a very important ride for Ferreira, needing an 8.51. There's the blast there, gets a little bit stuffed up, but powers through. Now trying to clean up those rails. Getting towards this section, hits it off the lip. Off the top again, this one just running down the line, similar to a wave you'd have at home at Bahia Formosa. Throwing up a big celebration, trying to force the score to go in his favor. So the number came in for Joel Vaughan, Mitch, at an 8.3. That locked in right when Italo was taken off. For the energy of that moment, that was huge, and Italo probably felt like he had to perform, but he wasn't quite aware of what the situation was.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sold on this last wave either. He ripped it, but yeah, I think even Reynolds knows there just wasn't enough quality in a lot of those maneuvers on this wave. And dude, what a matchup. I mean, what a way to start off the round. More than 16 points between the two of them. And as you said, Joel made a couple of mistakes, cleaned it up right there at the end. For Italo, you drop an excellent score when you need it. You have a backup that's nearly an 8. What more can you really do right here? But for Joel Vaughan, if he makes it out of this heat, no doubt the biggest win of his career so far, Joe.
And already the best combined heat total he's put together in this rookie season. Brilliant performance from both these athletes. Italo, runner-up in the world at this venue last year, will get the score and hear that it is not enough. And he's upset here in the round of 16. Joel Vaughan moves on to the next round and one of his biggest performances he's had in this rookie season.
Oh, amazing. A masterclass of aerial surfing, combining it with great rail surfing too. He's on to the quarterfinals for the first time this year, Joe.
This is huge. Big things coming up next. Felipe Toledo takes on Griffin Colapinto right after this.